So like we talked about, each person's different. About 7 to 9 hours is the general way. But you might ask me like, well, Jordan, like, how do I know how much do I need? Am I a 7 hour person? Am I a 9 hour person? And really this is going to come down to like how you feel. There's a couple different things to look for. Do you feel healthy? Do you feel happy? Do you feel alert? If it's a no to all three of those questions, you're probably not getting enough sleep or there's something else going on. Another question is, do you have any underlying illnesses that kind of makes you at risk for other diseases? Because that being said, if you are someone who has other comorbidities and you're not sleeping much, that might make that comorbidity worse, might predispose you to having complications from that or developing other things. And so just think about your overall health. If you are maybe not the healthiest person in the world, getting more sleep might be really beneficial for you. Another question to think about is, do you have a high level of daily activity? Are you training 4 times a day? Then you're going to need a lot of sleep. If you're not doing quite as much, you might not need as much. But if you think about those elite athletes, people who are doing multiple 2-a-days, they're sleeping all the time. Professional athletes, they take their sleep super seriously. They're obviously working on it all the time, but sleep is critical for them. Another question is, do you need alertness for your job? I think the answer for that should be yes for everybody. I can't imagine, any job where you don't need to be alert, but are you working with heavy machinery? Are you having a dangerous job where if you're fatigued, they've shown in lots of different studies that if you have sleep deprivation, it's very similar to actually having like a blood alcohol level, like at the legal limit of like being drunk essentially. And so like, it's crazy. We in society, if you're driving while you're drunk, obviously that's a huge faux pas. We don't do that. But if you're driving while you're sleep deprived, it's just like, oh, that's what we do. But really your alertness and your reaction time is very similar to that. And so it's just something to consider. Like if your job is on a dangerous side where you're working with repetitive motions, heavy machinery, or it's dangerous, like getting sleep is critical for you. Another question we can think about is, do you rely on caffeine during the day? Are you a person who gets up and just has to crush caffeine as soon as they get up in the morning? Well, then maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Another question is, when you have an open schedule, do you tend to sleep more? On the weekends, are you constantly finding yourself sleeping super late, getting 12 hours because you feel like you're not getting enough sleep during the week? That might be indicative that we need to get a couple more hours during the week. At the end of the day, though, you can't cheat sleep. Lack of sleep is going to always get you one way or another. It's going to get theirs. If you try to fight it, eventually you're going to either fall apart, get sick, or just have to sleep. So, it's better to structure it and get solid sleep if we can, because then we're going to be feeling better throughout the week.